Well, hello everybody, and welcome to episode number 3 of the Dragon Hybrid War. I'm not even gonna yap, let's get straight into it. And for the first mission I'm gonna be talking about is Titan by Ganotrap. Now, this is one I've been very excited to see work out. He originally made a comment on, I think, the first episode of this, like the introduction episode. And, yeah, I was very excited to see how this would work. Because in the video, I did technically keep saying Titan class dragons. I meant Alpha class, I kept saying Titan class. Uh, the species he brought up is technically classified as Titan class, but I'm going to ignore that because this is just such a cool concept, I just couldn't pass it up. So, the base species is, Furious, I think is what it's called. Let me check real quick. Looking back, it is called Furious, the Sea Dragonus Giganticus Maximus. Now, that's the base species. I'm not even. This is the only one that's going to use this, and I have a plan on because this is obviously moving on. There's like no defeating this for Trap, but I do have a plan for this. Nobody else gets to use this dragon. I'm cutting it off now. We're not going to use it again. Anyways, the next species in the genome is the Razor Whip for the armor, the ability to shoot barbed spikes, and the barbed spikes even being there, to strengthen the tail overall. Venomous teardrops, if you didn't know. Every single part of the Razor Whip is deadly in some way, shape, or form. The show itself confirms this. I just wanted to point that out. Also, to elongate the neck for more flexibility. The next species in the genome is the Catastrophic Quaken, to thicken the armor and make it even harder to work with, to get through. The ability to create shockwaves by smashing its body into the ground, a 3-way split jaw, and to increase overall bulk and muscle. I was about to say mass, muscle. Next in the genome is Singetail. I just want to point this out. I just thought it was kind of interesting. A lot of these hybrids use Singetail for the exact same reason this one does, which is the 360-degree visibility, so they can see what's coming at them from where. I just thought, and it's not like to stop using it or anything, I just thought it was interesting. Anyways, it's also used for fire blasting ability from the tail and the underbelly. The next species is Night Fury, which is used for intelligence, plasma blasts, the increased speed during flying, I'm assuming, because they're not super. They're fast, of course, because they're small, but they're not exactly super fast on land. And the dark coloration for camouflage at nighttime. And we saw what happened with the Red Death. We wouldn't want that to happen to Titan here. So it has extra durable wings thanks to the Night Fury. And the next species is Wooden's Fang? I don't know if that's actually how you pronounce it or not. Anyways, it's used for telepathy, ability to speak Norse, ability to predict the future, increased battle intelligence, and sharp fangs, which is extra sharp, or more sharp teeth, I would assume. I don't really think I have to say this. I don't even think I have to talk about the categories. Maybe I can only see Trap being able to possibly win in the water. That's it. Because this guy isn't exactly well adapted for aquatic environments. But every other category, Trap is dead. Like even in the water, it's still a 75-25% win ratio. I'm just, yeah, there's no winning for Trap here, unfortunately. Next up, we have Kagura Matcha. I almost 100% butchered that name with their hybrid Arcane. The base is Azurian. I think I said that one right. Fire Terror for the ability to consume fire. Ruiner Nigante for physical strength, aggression, armor, claws, metallic enhancement, and change ring, of course, for acid proofing the entire body, which is probably the best strategy to fight Trap. And I have to say, this genome is really small, but very, very effective. So, let's get into the ratings. I do realize I said ratings, I meant categories. So, I think it would... I came back to edit this, and I was looking for images, and then I realized we're under Nigante, and now the dragon. Why? Why are we doing this? Why must you do these things to me? So I guess I'm gonna have to pull out the punishment hybrid for when you, for when you know, decide to break my rules. Next up is the person who's probably been the most hyped for this episode. I've been, I've been putting this off a bit. I'm finally getting back into working this. This is a few days after I recorded the first two parts. So, this is Eddie Ink's second hybrid, second submission for this hybrid war, called the Strike Wing. Are you being serious right now? Well, I'm recording it. There's no way. There's no way, right? There's literally no way. Anyways, back to the Strike Wing. The base is Sea Wing, the Change Wing for acid-proof scales and armor, Sand Wing for venom and stinger on the tail, and of course Rain Wing for the ability to essentially just go invisible, larger wings for more powerful flight, and of course the venom. I wouldn't really call it venom. If you've read the books or seen the graphic novels, you know it's more like acid than venom. And this team will be a 5 because, yeah, I'm putting trap through work here. So let's get into the categories of this fight. Now, Eddie Ink himself did say that this hybrid was targeted towards getting the other two categories he didn't get with his first submission, which were the water and sky. And again, as a reminder, these categories are not a restriction for your hybrid, they're a restriction for my hybrid. Since he's built bigger and different, I did give him obvious weaknesses, of course, just so it's actually fair. But since I made him so big, I made these categories. The categories work in a way sort of restricting him. The sky, he can only be in the sky. He's forced to fly no matter what. In the sea category, he's forced to swim no matter what. In the land category, he's forced to be on land no matter what. And of course, the all-rounder is all categories. Sorry that cut off. Had to do something real quick. Anyways, the categories, as I was talking about, you need 2 points to move on to the tournament part of the section. Randomly selected hybrids will fight each other and then fight a final boss. The final 5 of the tournament will fight a final boss, blah, blah, blah. I've basically explained this already. And yeah, so the tournament, you need 2 points. Each category gives points. The individual categories give 1 point, meanwhile the all-rounder gives 2 points. So if you win the all-rounder category, you automatically get entered into the tournament. I have explained this in case anybody's missed the first episode, which, I don't know why I had felt the need to re-explain how this whole ranking system works, but I did anyway. Anyways, about the categories that this hybrid has done. Sorry for the app session. I did realize I was doing it and forced myself through it quickly. So, like I said, this hybrid is meant to be the counter to Trap in the sky and in the sea to win the other categories that his first submission did win. And I'm going to say, for the sea category, absolutely, dude. These guys win, and it's like not even close. For the sky, however, that's a little more tricky. I do feel like they would have a much bigger advantage over Trap because of that, but they still, it's going to be a lot harder for them in the sky than it is in the sea. So I will give them the sky category barely, but they do get it. The land and all-rounder categories, they weren't really meant to win. They weren't built to win these categories. But I would say, yeah, they win the land category, and the all-rounder category is Trap. So for 3 points out of the 2 you needed for this hybrid to move on, Eddie Ink, congratulations, they have moved on to the tournament. Next up is one of, if not my favorite hybrid submitted to my hybrid war. This is a giant Flying Squid by Pyrogenetics. Not only is this just extremely creative, since this hybrid war doesn't take place too much into realism, but yeah, it's really creative. It's really, really creative, and I love it so much. Anyways, the base genome, as you have probably read by now, is Nanaathomotusis. I think I said that right. It is that giant mosasaurus eating squid they discovered not that long ago. So, yeah. The next genome is Thalassodromeus for the wings on the body. They have giant clam for armor. Don't really... I mean, I can envision how that would work. It's just kind of... I mean, it's possible, because they're both mollusks, but whatever. I should probably stop. Anyways. Tusoteuthis for the longer tentacles and larger suction cups. The Invicquisevi water frog for slime, which is apparently poisonous. We have vampire squid for the eye to body ratio. The big eye tuna, which for additional support to the eyes. Osteodonturus for the beak. Gomphois for the whiskers. Okay. Yeah, that's just a really interesting name. Capitalosaurus for strength and immune system. Amphicerius fragilamimus for size. And of course, the spined dwarf mantis for spines. You'd never guess that the spined dwarf mantis was used for spines, would you? Anyways, I'm just gonna continue to glaze this hybrid because it's so creative and I love it so much. Oh my god, it's literally just a giant squid that can fly. I love it so much. Now it's time for everybody's favorite part. It's my favorite part, at least, of the Dragon Hybrid Wars. The categories that these hybrids have won. First up, C. Now, there's not exactly a clear amount of how many hybrids there are of this guy. I'm going to just say 5, just because I love this thing so irrationally much. I just love him so much. Anyways, I'm going to say there's 5 of them, just because this is entirely realism, so they're going to need as much help as they can get to beat, my giant metal acid-breathing dragon. So, the water category goes to Hari here. I think that is what it's called. Yes, I think so. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it's called Hari. The water category goes to Hari since, Trap is built to be an all-rounder. He's built to be able to be excuse me, I don't know why I stuttered there. To be in all terrains. Hari is mainly based in water. So, yeah. I love this guy so much. I'm not going to stop reiterating that as I talk about him, okay? Get used to it. And I know there's probably somebody who's going to be out there really pissed. I'm just, wasting time talking about how much I love this squid. I love this squid, okay? Okay? I like him, and he will be probably one of my favorite hybrids I've ever seen for the remaining time I have on this earth. Anyways, the sky category goes to Trap. The land category goes to Trap because, well, they're squids. They're not exactly going to survive long on land. And finally, the all-rounder category. Now, Trap is going to have to go into the ocean to be able to even fight them. So congratulations, Pyrogenetics. Your hybrid has made it to the tournament part with 3 out of the 2 points needed. Congratulations. I love this squid so much. Okay? Anyways, that was episode 3. I know it might have been a little disappointing that it took this long and there's only 4 submissions. I'm really sorry. There's been a lot, and I mean, very, very personal stuff going on. I've been distracted with that. Um, I did finish the first three submissions before the thing, and I just kept putting this submission off because of the thing. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is because this is real life stuff that affects my family's lives. So I'm not gonna tell anybody about it. But I'm just putting out there that's why it's taken so long. Anyways, yeah. So that was episode 3. The next episode 4, Metrio Genetic, or not Metrio. Sorry, wrong person. Sean Kelly. All of your current hybrids that I have seen and screenshotted and added to the photo album I have of the Dragon Hybrid War submissions. That is all you. This is the episode 4. I'm tempted to call it the Sean Kelly-thon because it rhymes, and also it's literally only his submissions. I've told him this before. Just letting everybody else in this hybrid war know this if you're watching this far in, because at this point I'm basically done. Yeah, and if your hybrid was not mentioned here in episode 4, along with my favorites that Sean Kelly has made, yours will be in episode 5. So, just be patient. These things are going to take time. And yeah. Bye-bye!